Let's take a look at strings in Python. Unlike an integer, strings are data structures in Python, which means they're composed of several other pieces of data. We should also note that strings is an immutable data structure. Immutable data structure. That means its internal data elements, like the characters, can be accessed, but we can't replace them, insert them, or remove them as they exist in a string. Okay, so let's look at some of the key functions we'll use with strings. Sometimes we need to know how long a string is. To do that, we can use the len function. So we can say print len phrase, and let's do F5, and it tells us 5 because there are 5 characters in that string phrase. There's also the subscript operator. We can access a single character in the screen just by representing a given position at its index. So if we say print phrase, and we use the square brackets to represent the index, and say we want to return the A in Mario, we would say that's at index 1. And that returns the A. Okay? If you wanted to return the M, what would we put there? A 0. Good job. I mean, I hope it was good job. I didn't hear your answer, but hopefully you said 0. And that returns the M. There's also a shortcut to return the last character or the next to last character, and you can do a negative number. So if we do a -1, that's going to return the O. It gives us the last character in that phrase. So -1 gives us an O. -2 gives us the next to last. So this should return the I. So we can use this subscript operator through a process of slicing to return more than one characters or a substring from our original character. So let's look just a little bit at these slicing or the methods for slicing. So we're going to continue to use those square brackets, but if we do a 0 and a colon, this is saying start slicing at the 0 index and continue on throughout infinity. So if we run this, it should return the entire phrase. And it does indeed return Mario. What if we only wanted the first character? Well, we could say, hey, start slicing at the index of 0, continue slicing through that first index value. So this should return only the M in Mario, and it does indeed. If we wanted the first 2 characters, of course, we could just change this to 0:2. And again, we have MA. If we want the entire string, another way that we could do this is by getting having nothing in this first case, and then in this last case doing len and the variable name. So this should again print the whole value, Mario. We could also extract, say, the last characters. So maybe if we wanted the last 3 characters, by using a negative number. So we could do like, we could do -3 colon. And that gives us just the last 3. Another handy thing for us to use when working with strings is the in operator. So in this case, we have a list, which we'll talk more about this later on, but this list is similar to an array in JavaScript. It contains 3 values. And we want to print out all of the values in that list that have a .text in them. So in this case, we're using a loop to loop through each value that's in that list. And if .txt exists in that file name, then we're going to print that file name. Okay? So when we run this, we get this as the result. So it printed the 2 files that did have .text in those file names.